So I assume if you're here watching this, you're sitting there thinking, man, Game of Thrones did me so fucking dirty. Should I give this show a chance, Or should I just close that chapter in my life altogether? Well, I'm here to tell you it's too soon to tell. However, if you're looking to completely heal your wounds from Game of Thrones, probably never going to happen. Don't care how good this is. If anything, this will probably make your wounds worse. I'll tell you why, because have anyone seen Better Call Saul, for example, compared to Breaking Bad? Better Call Saul is a prequel to Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad being one of the best, if not the best shows of all time. And the whole excitement of Better Call Saul is, I can't wait to see how we get to the events of Breaking Bad, to see all that shit that I love. With this, it's like, okay, we're building up to Game of Thrones, but do I really give a shit? Because I don't give a shit about Game of Thrones anymore. Like, at the end of this episode, they start playing the Game of Thrones. There's a little bit of spoilers here, not going to give much, in case you do decide to watch it. But they start playing the Game of Thrones theme and building up, and talking about the winter is coming, even though for them it's not coming for like 150 years, not even in their lifetime, but whatever, it's still coming, and it's supposed to be epic and all that. Like, they're referencing that. Chills. Not at all. It would if Game of Thrones, sealed the deal and was great. Not saying Game of Thrones was bad all the way through. Obviously, it was good up until like the very last season, in my opinion. Damn shame. I won't even get into that whole video about that. But so yeah, that would work if Game of Thrones worked. So it only works on one level whenever it should be working on both levels, where you can be like, wow, I'm so excited to see us get to that. But you're just really not, or you half-heartedly are, because it was so poor. But anyway, how is this episode itself apart from Game of Thrones? I would say it has potential, Now, a big thing people talk about with the show, which I absolutely noticed, woke shit in there. Sorry, I know we're all so tired of hearing woke, but I mean, it's all in. I'm tired of it being in TV and movies so abundantly. So, it's what it is. But I can see how there are things in there that would be woke. I imagine it would bother me a lot more if I read the books or whatever this is based off on, if I was more privy to the lore. Maybe there is nothing different from the lore in that, I really don't know. But I can say I can notice, and I can kind of speculate where things have been changed for this woke, day and time, right? So yeah, that could definitely be a problem, especially if it's different from the book material for a lot of people. Now the acting is great. The effects, are good. They're of course going to be spotty in some areas, but whenever you have like so much special effects going on, I mean, the odds are some of it is going to fail, which is just to be expected. I'm just going over images here because I don't want to show any footage of anything violent or sexual potentially, which of course is what Game of Thrones type stuff is packed with, because it's gotten my videos copyright before or whatever. So yeah, they also do a great job with packing in as much like violence and brutality, like blood and gore, and don't shy away from any of that organically into the plot for this first episode. Now that's how it was in Game of Thrones. Like for premieres and finales, they may slow down a little bit throughout. So what's really gonna come down to like the show proving itself to me is how does it do once we get away from like the big premiere episode where we're throwing all of our money at it and we're just going through character interactions and things like that, because that's where Game of Thrones really shined, was with character dynamics. They do have potential for that with, I guess I won't say who, but they're all kind of fighting in their own ways for the throne, like Game of Thrones, of course. So yeah, there is potential for that. I'll say not really a spoiler, particularly between these two characters, because they do both want the throne or have the throne, right to the throne, but they do kind of like each other, it would seem, from the scenes that we got. So yeah, and that's pretty much all I can say, I think, without spoiling too much or specifics. It has potential, not as much as it could have thanks to Game of Thrones. And yeah, it's not a very detailed review, but I didn't want to make this, like I said, spoilers are very long either. So yeah, let me know what you thought about it, if you saw it, and yeah, time's gonna tell. I could see this totally flopping or being something like, okay, not bad. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.